other than the dominance of UST, which was season long, and we won't touch on that. Let's talk about some other teams. Like, let's say, give me your general perception on how Adamson did this year.
I've always been a fan of Adamson. I really like how hard each of those girls on that team works, but as we all were able to observe, they had a really tough start. Their round one, they ended 2-5. But of course, like with any team that's really young, they were still in their rebuilding phase last year. So you can attest that this year, right, they would have solidified things a little bit better. But last year, they did have a better finish per se with that bronze medal. But again, like the fourth spot still hasn't solidified. And recently, they won their matchup against DLSU. So they're not out yet. Can't count them out yet, but at the same time, they've been struggling a bit.
Yeah, and recently, right, they had the shift in coaching. They had a new head coach come in.
Right?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there were a lot of maybe conflicts or friction within the team. So how long do you think it took the team to adjust to the new coaching style?
I would say the whole season. I feel like even if I was a player and I was adjusting to a new coach this year, it's more than just listening to plays and running drills, right? It's like building a relationship with the coach. So I think for the girls, it was more so that. And when you have a coach that you can relate to, that understands you as the player, it makes winning all the more easy. But of course, you have a new coach. He's also really young.
And so very new as a coach,
as
too.
a new, So in his position, we can, give him a little bit of leeway with his first UAAP season. At the same time, it's a competitive league. Like, you got to go out there and give your everything.
All right, couple of players who stood out for you for Adamson this year.
Oh, two?
Yeah, a couple of players. To me, it's always been, the guards in Etang and Apag. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, I would say those two, but someone that definitely stood out to me that improved from the first was their FSA.
Okay.
So she definitely, in the beginning, had a very tough start. Like, she was missing easy bunnies, and I remember, I called a few of their games, and I was like, man, their games would really turn around if, their import could just make a few more shots.
And we're talking about Kimi Adesina.
Yeah, Adesina, yes. Right. And she, in the second round, had a way better output, especially in her game against UP. Like, she was definitely a turnaround player for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
So moving on to NU, we have a star player from that team, Carl Pingol. She really seemed to step up this season.
This year,
So what do you think are the things that really changed, I guess, in terms of leadership or game style compared to last season?
I feel she's always been a player that is on the scouting report. You never want to count her out. But in terms of her role for this year, she's a senior. So for her, it's all or nothing, right? And I think that with the way that she's been playing, she's more of a playmaker this year, more so than like a role player. She has a huge gap in the statistical points for the MVP. So all around, she can do everything. She can pass. She can bring the ball up if she really needs to. She can shoot the three. So for her, I think just her overall impact, it makes her team better. Their only loss this year is to UST, but that doesn't take away from NU's dominance in the league, right? Especially, with her being also a Gilas player. That is a plus for her.
Yeah. Did the graduation of, their stars, their captain, their leader, bring out this other skill sets or the improvement of the skill sets of Carl, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say she shoots better. I am more so...
And shoots more.
Shoots more. The more shots you take, the more shots you make, right? But at the same time, she also has a great ability to get her teammates involved. And that's something I think Cece did a really good job on her team, right? Even the days that she wasn't scoring, she got her teams involved. And that's something that Carl really improved on. And it shows by the record.
Okay.
And for the FEU team now, so let's talk about them. Similar to Adamson, where they had a new coach coming in, but I think this season they kind of had more time with their new coach. So how has the dynamic been between that? Were they able to adjust this season? It seems like they are. I mean, they've been performing really well. So
And they've had exciting games, even in their
Yeah.
losses.
yeah.
Nikki.
So what's your take on that?
I really enjoyed watching FEU.
Yeah.
Coach Rise is one of my good friends,
Yes,
so
of
it's
course.
really nice to kind of like root for them and see how much her impact has been on the team. And specifically, Shem Abatayo and Amaya Espano, they're two Phil-Am guards that brought like a lot of style to FEU, and that's something I feel like they've lacked in the past years is a go-to scorer or like a go-getter. Like they've always had role players, which is great, but at the same time, like you need those players that are going to take tough shots and go out there and score 20, right? And I think that's why it's great that Shem and Amaya play together, is because Amaya is a system player. She'll go and let the game come to her, while Shem is more of a girl that will go take the tough shot. Like she's reading off ball screens. The first shot is her shot, right? So it's been nice to see them compete and then also, go up against bigger teams and then also show their might. They haven't been blown out crazy.
Yeah,
at
that's
any
why even in their losses,
they're good losses. It's a good loss.
Good loss, like
Yeah.
exciting losses,
Yeah.
if you can put it that way. What's needed if you put on your analyst hat, you're looking at this team. What's needed for them to get up another level next year?
They need a rebounder.
Okay.
They really lack in bigs. Although they're really strong in guards this year, the biggest thing is their bigs, right? You need people to crash the boards offensively, defensively. Right? Offensively, A, to get more possessions. B, defensively, to stop possessions. So as much as they hustle, right, it really is difficult for FEU to, execute even like certain flashes on their offenses because they're just not big enough. Right? That would be it.
I actually want to ask the same question you just asked for the Ateneo team. Because they have the MVP player, Casey, right? And she's been such an amazing athlete throughout the whole career, throughout her whole career. But then this year in particular, we're very happy to see how Ateneo has been rising up with a better team, I guess, that complements her. So again, I wanted to ask the same thing. So what do you think can they do to perform better, to win more games?
For them, it's going to be defensive grit. They have a couple players that are a little bit on the smaller scale,
Yeah.
but like you can still be small but mighty, right? And I think when it comes down to, matching up well with like teams like UST or NU, like those guards got grit. So, and you have to be able to roll with them. So for Ateneo, they have all the offensive talent. They got shooters. They have wonderful big men. They got rebounders. They got midi shooters like Camille Malagar. Like their three levels are all they check all the boxes. But defensively, it comes down to winning their matchups and then also being able to rotate and work together.
They're definitely deeper this year than they were last year,
yeah.
right, Nikki?
Yeah, for
Okay, having said that, there's a better complement of players around Casey. Is Casey a better player in your opinion this year?
That's a good question. I think she's been consistent.
Okay.
I don't think that she's better.
Okay.
I feel like last year was her biggest improvement from her first year.
Oh, okay, so she took a leap last year in your opinion?
And now
Okay.
she's consistent,
Okay.
which I can respect that
Okay.
because, although she is improved last year, right, our biggest thing was we said wanted her to shoot threes.
Right,
Now
right.
she does it, right? And now she does it consistently. And so I feel like, how much better can you go from averaging a double-double? Like, what do you want from her, to
right.
bring the ball up too?
Right, right.
So I would say, yeah, she's doing a great job.
Well, she's been awesome to watch,
Yeah.
whether individually or with this team that she's had this year, just like the rest of the girls this season in UAAP women's basketball. Thank you very much. Nikki, as always,